I want to switch gears here and talk a little bit about an under the radar but extremely significant story happening down in Washington, D.C., which is the Pentagon's awarding of a $10 billion contract to Microsoft over Amazon and the lawsuit that is resulting from that decision. We're joined now by Yahoo Finance contributor Roger Parloff for more on this story. And Roger, we have talked to you in the past about this kind of entire saga, which really began back in 2012, 2013. What's the latest? And you have a very, very good, very long story in Yahoo Finance published yesterday about the latest details here. Where do we stand in terms of this program and the legal fallout here?
Well, right now, the lawsuit, the Pentagon is trying to get a stay, trying to freeze the lawsuit for 4 months because they want to have a time to try to correct what the judge found to be a very serious error in their reasoning, the type of error that could have caused the Pentagon to disqualify Microsoft altogether. That's the way the judge saw it. So they want to correct that error. And Amazon is opposing that. They say that Microsoft just wants a do-over, and that's where we stand. We'll get an answer to that probably it could be days, just a few days. It's fully briefed.
And so, Roger, I guess to back up then and talk about the background of this story, I mean, essentially, we have Amazon alleging that the Pentagon followed the influence of the president and his family, because they don't like Jeff Bezos, they don't like the Washington Post, to award probably the most significant contract in the DoD's history to its competitor, which, as you note in the story, didn't even seem prepared to respond to the news, right? Microsoft took a whole day to issue a press release saying they had gotten the Jedi contract, which is not what you expect from a company getting probably the largest government IT award of all time.
That's right. It stunned a lot of people, and it's really the most. It's a totally unique situation for a government procurement contract. It's the most remarkable thing because there's never been a situation where a president of the United States was publicly and scathingly attacking one of the bidders throughout the procurement. So there's this serious question about were the source selection personnel at the Pentagon intimidated, either consciously or even unconsciously. And they've never tackled something like that. Never had a suit like that.
Roger, Dan Roberts here. Thanks for coming on. Let me just quickly ask, too, for Amazon in this lawsuit, obviously Amazon is hoping to get a different decision, and obviously Amazon wants the contract financially and for business reasons. But also, don't you think there's something here that really is just about reputation for Amazon, reputation risk? You know, Amazon not wanting it to look like Microsoft Azure is horning in on its territory so much. So it's not just, to me, about the actual outcome here, but about Amazon kind of proving a point. Is that fair to say?
I think that's very fair. I think it's. I think that whoever won this, I mean, it's a huge feather in your cap. It's an enormous achievement for Microsoft. And like you say, it sort of means we finally caught up because for a long time they were unquestionably behind. Everyone was unquestionably behind. And so, yeah, I think that's true. I think it's also, this is an extraordinary thing for a public company to bring this sort of suit because it uses the I word, impeachment. It talks about, it makes parallels to what happened here and to what allegedly happened in the impeachment. And so I think that they're also sort of fed up with what's been going on for the past 3 years. They've quietly taken it, and then they just, when this result came down, that was the final straw. And it wasn't just Trump; it was also his son. That Donald Trump Jr. began to predict, in August, that Amazon was going to lose this. It was just, sort of crazy.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that Don Jr. would suddenly take an interest in procurement contracts. Roger, just quickly here, thinking about, you mentioned impeachment is part of this, but, so if that's the one political story for the last couple of years, obviously everyone in Washington right now is distracted with something else, which is the coronavirus, the pandemic, the economic fallout. How does that play, and in your conversations with folks down in D.C., how is that playing into this current battle wending its way through the legal system, if at all? Because I mean, this is a very significant, again, government contract being doled out among two of the biggest companies in the world, and yet it seems like it couldn't be further down the list of concerns given all that's going on right now.
Well, the case is not being postponed because a lot of it is submitted in writing anyway. They aren't doing a lot of. The last court hearing was, I think it was probably in January. It might have been in early February. This wasn't really on the radar, and they can. So it's going forward. It hasn't been halted by COVID yet.
All right, Roger Parloff, Yahoo Finance contributor. Thanks for joining the program. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.